So it's Monday, but guess what? It's like a party Monday because there's like this whole event that I've been trying to tell you guys about all fucking week, or like probably since all weekend, because that was like 4 days ago. Have you guys heard about Pretty Frankenstein? Or you're about to? And throughout this whole thing that we're about to do, I want you guys to take a look at this link that we're going to put up for Pretty Frankenstein's GoFundMe, because the celebration tonight is in honor for the launch of their GoFundMe for their very first album. Now, this is a band you want to have in your life. You really do. From the epic TikToks to the absolute beautiful performances, and my all-time favorite person to look at when I have my alone time and laugh, Grey Starr. Bring her on for me. Thank you. Yay!
Hello.
I
How's
wish
it
we had
going?
sound effects.
All right. No, it's all good. I can make them. I can pew pew pew. Ba-ba-ba-boing.
I swear I want to do DJ noises someday.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for coming on. I was like, is she gonna say no? Because like this is a big day for you.
Yeah,
Tell
no,
everyone
no.
why. It's a big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah, I'm Grey Starr from Pretty Frankenstein. I don't know if I need to say that again, but yeah, no, today we just launched our Kickstarter or GoFundMe campaign, excuse me. At one of those. And
It's the same thing, isn't it?
kind of, except the thing is GoFundMe lets you keep whatever you make, whereas
Oh, that's right.
Kickstarter, if you don't, yeah. But it's like yeah, it's for our album. It's gonna be like, I think, like 6 to 8 songs. We have had other albums before that are on like Spotify and stuff, but like nothing's ever been like an actual like studio, like mixed and mastered by a professional thing. It's all just everything that's up that you can hear now is like, me at home and like garage band.
That's that's actually pretty fucking impressive. This
Oh,
is what
thank
I
you.
love about artists in this day and age. And remember when the boomers were like, "Oh, kiddo, you don't want to rely on that technology because it's
Yeah.
gonna end the world." I still believe that like Apple is Skynet, and that's going to happen. However, so many creative bands literally recorded albums in closets using their iPhones, and I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck yes.
Yeah, exactly. And then like all of our music videos are filmed on my partner Vince's iPhone. And that's where we're at right now. But yeah, we just started working with a producer that mixed the latest singles that we put out. And he is amazing. He's playing drums on the tracks, he's playing bass, and he is like, I love this man. I am so like, we just meld too. Like I'll text him like in the middle of the night. I'll have like a random thought of like, oh, can you EQ this to sound like this? He's like, already got you. Like, I was thinking like this vibe, and he'll throw out some reference that I'm like, oh my god, I was just listening to that. And it's just this like chemistry that that
How
you
long have
can't
you
beat.
known each other?
Well, it's funny because so his name is Edward.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah, Edward is our mixing master producer person, and he actually used to come to see I used to be in a hip hop group, and this is like early 2000s, like 2009 to like 2011, and we were called Spirits in the Basement, and
I love it.
he was like a Spirits in the Basement fan. He knew one of the members personally, but he would come to our shows and he would like fucking make. Oh, can I swear on here?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Fuck yeah.
Sweet.
I was
He
trying to
would
be more clever.
he would make these like fucking like stenciled like Spirits in the Basement shirts that he and his now wife would wear. So this is like, this is a love affair that's been like 10 years in the making.
I'm
So,
about
you
it.
know, Yeah.
Absolutely about it. I'm trying to get this link up here. Give me 1 second.
Oh, no
Okay,
worries.
so you're the hip hop band makes all the sense, and I was like, you're too good to be a rookie.
Yeah, no, it's funny because the weird thing is trying to figure out a way to put hip hop influences into like, kind of gothy upbringing, and like it's funny because now I'm so happy. I love modern music, and like I love people like Young Blood, and like just people who are like melding all the genres, and just dressing as like emo and gothy as possible. And so now I'm like, you know what? If like that person's getting away with it, and they have like legions of fans. So fuck it. I think it's time that I can actually put these two things together.
And it works beautifully. I could tell you probably 10 years ago, goths would have been like, "Oh my goth."
Yeah, yeah.
But would they though? I don't know. I bet it works so well because like when you came out, I was like, what oh, you're the goth expert. What is this hip hop melding? Because I'm actually biracial, so I
Yeah,
love both genres. So I'm like, someone
yeah.
put it together. No one has done it right. You nailed it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Hold on. I
All
am
right.
so sorry. I don't know why my I have the link here.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. It's
So what
I
were
could
you
tell
doing?
I could tell people stuff too. It's um I'm sure
Oh,
you'll share it, but we have an official website now.
oh,
That's prettyfrankenstein.com, and you can find everything about it on there. You can
okay.
find all the stuff there. I'm going to make myself a drink with some ghost tequila. Um,
Let's go. What
yeah,
is this drink
in
called? Is it just
it's
tequila,
just like a
correct?
margarita because I'm just gonna use margarita mix, but I'm gonna pour it in my little skull glass. Just
Cheers. And I'm
I
being
don't
a fancy hoe.
nice. Can I pour alcohol live on YouTube? I don't know if that's
We'll
like a
find out.
violation thing, right?
I'm surprised I haven't been kicked off. The things that have come out of my mouth. I feel like I've been kicked off. No, it was a production we were doing, but we were kicked off for music, but not necessarily for anything I've done yet.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers, celebration.
Hey.
And I just want to say, anyone who is watching or listening, we'll put the link up, but also I know this is like in podcast mode. So well, it'll be in podcast mode. The Kickstarter, or I'm sorry, the GoFundMe. You mentioned that it goes on all the whole month of March. Get people to vote because you actually have like cool prizes and shit. And I just envisioned like a lot of Oriental Trading Company stuff in the little gift bags. And if you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have that, I want to make it.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I'd love that. We have so many like different little prizes for people. Um, it ranges from everything from like, a signed copy of the cassette to like because we're putting it out on cassette. So,
I love
because we're
that.
we're retro. Yeah.
No, that's good.
Um yeah. And so that's like bottom tier donations, and then like top tier is like, I mean, we go so far as to like, me playing a private Zoom session for you live, playing music unless
Oh,
you unless you pay the full amount, in which case it's you know if you give me $2,000, I'd whatever.
you sound like me. I'll do what for what?
Yeah.
Cheers again, god damn it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. Now, you're a performer and you've been a performer for some time. Where the fuck did my questions go? God damn it.
Oh no, no.
Okay. So you've been a performer for some time. Now, what Pretty Frankenstein is relatively not new. You've been around for a minute here.
Yeah, well, it's funny. The thing is, we've gone through like a bunch of different iterations.
Hmm.
It's like we started off. It was a duo of just Vince and I, and computer backing, and we were like super goth. If you listen to there's an album on Spotify of ours called 1994, from 2019, and it's just super like the first track is just like hard, like distorted drums, and then like me doing like the straight up like Peter Murphy, like like that kind of shit. Like we were we were full in the goth like mode and being like, let's go, 90s like pinnacle of like, let's go downward spiral, and like Ministry just came out and we're like, trying to emulate that. But then it kind of went on in 2020. We did like a whole political album called Sounds of Revolt, which is on our Bandcamp, and it's very much like I worked with all my old friends from the hip hop albums that I used to do. I brought in a lot of like, producers and rappers that I used to know. And it's just a totally different vibe. And then there was on both on Spotify and Bandcamp, I think you could find Shred Alive, which was our Halloween album, which came out last year, I think. So like, it's just everything, it's so many things. But I think this time it's kind of nice because it's like, it's kind of all of it put into one thing, and that's kind of like one of the first times I've been able to do that but still make it cohesive.
Oh, it's so, oh my God. I'm just in love, and I'm quite a bit starstruck. This second time today. Um, and I already have the short term thing going on, but you mentioned cassette before. Sorry that I went like all
Oh,
the
no,
way
no,
back.
no, totally.
I
No, you're
was
fine.
actually speaking to Darius, the front dude of Haunt Me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the post-punk band earlier today, and that'll be out later, but it was just another fangirl moment, and I'm like, woo! But Darius was actually telling me that, and I didn't bring it up when we were talking, the whole cassette thing, that's actually like, to me, it's invaluable. So,
Yeah.
and I'm like, so here's me thinking while you're talking, where the fuck am I gonna? I think I know where, go to thrift stores. I can find a cassette player. Like, I want to go back. I want to go back.
Yeah,
I
no,
want to
it's
listen to Pretty Frankenstein on cassette.
there's so many artists like in Oakland that are doing
Mhm,
cassette, and it's really cool. But also it's like it's cheaper to make.
mhm.
It's also just kind of cooler than like CDs, because like nobody even has a CD player. So if you're gonna go with something that's like outdated, you might as well go completely retro. And like it's just fun. 1994 Ace of Base was out with the sign. Nice. Right.
I said I wasn't
is
singing.
isn't there like random, wasn't one of them, didn't one of them end up being like a Nazi or something like that? Wasn't there some weird?
Probably.
Yeah, but
I don't trust anyone anymore. I'm like every like,
right.
if I'm sorry for, but see, this is not, I mean, I'm not sorry, my Caucasian friends, but it's like if I don't know you, I'm instantly gonna have some
Some,
probably.
yeah, yeah.
And Black Villain was a superstar on my last live. He knows
Nice.
everything.
Oh, nice, nice.
Like, and I'm not fucking around. He knows everything. But
Yeah,
talking about evolution, and that's what I love about art. And I think that's what the pandemic kind of opened up for everybody. It was like, we can do whatever the fuck we want. We can make whatever the fuck we want. And then we're
yeah,
just gonna put it out there and see what happens. I love, and this is why I love covering bands like yours, because I want to know, I still want to I need to know all of the stories. So on top of the
yeah,
fact that Pretty Frankenstein went through all these evolutions, so did you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
It's
it's really fascinating. And it's sometimes I have reservations, like should I bring it up or should I not bring it up? But you share your story very, very
I
publicly. And I
yeah,
love
I love talking about myself. So like there's no, I don't like sugarcoat or like tell people this or that is private. No, yeah, you're right. Like, cause before the pandemic, I was, I mean, I've been queer and I've been bi like my whole life. And I think when I realized pan was a thing, I became pan. But like, um I think it was what, last year
Mhm.
The whole year I had, beginning of the year, literally in January, I came out as non-binary because I didn't, I didn't realize growing up, I didn't realize that this shit was a thing.
Right.
Like in 2004, like bisexual me wearing dresses with blazers on top and fucking makeup, like had no idea that, they could consider themselves whatever they wanted to consider themselves. I was just like, to everybody at school, I was what was the nickname? Oh, fag. And
Like,
like like
yeah.
that was what people called you. And like, so like over the pandemic, there was last year I came out as non-binary, and then this end of last year I
Mhm.
actually came out as trans, and I started taking hormones and all that stuff. So it's been pretty wild, but it's pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie.
It I've been look, cheers again.
Cheers. Woo.
Ooh, what a time. I always am so grateful anytime I do ritual, like, it's a tough time it is to be alive in. I'm so happy to be here
Yeah.
and be able to witness this, but it's like you said, we weren't allowed to do that stuff. We weren't allowed to and we didn't know they existed. So it's a
Yeah.
beautiful and I love that you're able to share it because it is inspiring. My biggest thing is as a person who likes to heal,
Mhm.
help others heal, not healing myself. It sucks. I don't
Oh yeah, it's the
it
hardest thing
sucks.
to do.
Right. So, of course, what do? I don't want other people to feel that way or at least not feel alone. So, I think it is important when we do have people like you that can have other, especially young kids these days that don't
Yeah.
know that they have options and there's safe people out there. And the other
Yeah.
thing is that you had mentioned recently in a post of yours, because I stalk and read
Oh no, that's
that
that's awesome. That's great.
yeah, there's this inherent danger, that you have to experience. Like, and you live in. Everyone thinks that California is a bunch of queers just running around naked and having
I
orgies in
wish.
the streets, right? Like,
Yeah.
I would have stayed. I would have
Yeah.
stayed. But if that
Well,
were the case, but why is it so hard? You had mentioned like the safety is an issue too, even though you're putting
yeah.
yourself out there, but you're always aware.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like just being yourself in any form. I mean, you being biracial, you understand, and me the same. I've had so many run-ins with like, well, not the same because I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, our struggles are exactly the same. No, but like I've definitely dealt with like things because of my race being in like white neighborhoods like San Diego and stuff. But like but the thing is like people think that the Bay Area even is like it's just everybody's gay and everybody's cool, but like literally in Oakland, one of the most diverse places, you have cops still like killing black people. You have like how many trans people like were like murdered last year. It's like
Record
it's
numbers. Mhm.
yeah, it's fucked up. Thankfully I haven't dealt with too much like
Good.
stuff in this past couple of years, but I don't go outside. I go to work, I play a show maybe, and that's my life. But definitely when I was out and about more, I would get harassed by cops. I would get harassed by like, anybody. Um, and it's just, it sucks. But one thing I did share today too is that, um, it's like, there was a post that I saw that said we need to show young, queer people, uh, like essentially like happy lives because there's so much like, and it's the same with black people too. It's like there's so much like trauma that
Mhm.
does exist, but if that's all you see in like the media, you're just afraid, so you don't want to admit or talk about like those parts of you. But if there's people out there that are like, look, I'm fucking proud, and yeah, I deal with these struggles, but I'm also like super happy to be what I am.
That's right.
um then it helps with like, empowerment to like the young people. That
Mhm.
was a rant, but
I no, I love it. It's nice not to be the one always doing it. That's the nice thing. It's me going, "Oh, yes," I'm kicking my feet up and shit, like,
I'm a I'm a
"Refreshing."
I'm a triple Libra, so I can talk.
It's gonna be a long show, folks. We got 2 water
Yeah.
signs at the
Yeah,
helm
right.
here,
Nice.
and they're like, "Bye." No, we
Yeah,
haven't got to
right.
trivia yet. Okay,
Oh
so
yeah.
I absolutely love seeing you and your partner in action. Oh, my forehead is all the way out. Um, you let me adjust the wig a little. Okay.
Oh my
You
god, did you see my outtakes on TikTok from our video?
not
So
yet.
many so many
Wait,
wig malfunctions. I had the Amy Winehouse wig and it just like kept going.
your TikTok is okay. So what I do, I have like total ADD. So
Uh
I'm like, I intend to go to your TikTok, and then I'm like, okay, I get through like three, and then I'm like,
yeah.
wait a minute, I got it. Cause I always try to be, I don't know what's wrong with me, ADD. I'm like, okay, let me go make sure I check on everyone else's. And then I end up just scrolling, and no shit, it's become a self-care routine where like no shit, I was like drunk, I was like cross-faded one night, and it was like 11. I had to take a shit. And my husband was like, it's like Sunday, I gotta go to work and you gotta take the kid to school in the morning. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Let me have my woman time.
Yeah,
Women
yeah.
back in the day used to do their thing. I sat on the toilet, not with my sandwich. I made a sandwich after I took a shit with my phone on TikTok and just fucking with my AirPods laughing. Everyone's asleep. It's just the
Nice.
best, but I'm just scrolling and then I'm like, "Oh, let me go back." So forgive me for I will catch up. I will
Oh
probably
no,
do
no,
it.
no, I post like 3-4 times a day. It's like it's an
I
addiction
love it.
at this point. It's
I love it because you make me fucking happy. You make me
oh,
happy. Your
thank you.
music makes me happy. Your energy makes me happy. Okay, so the love of your life. Wow, what a partner you have. I'm actually like I want to can you write a book about your relationship because I want tips. I have a
it's
great,
yeah, yeah.
but I always look for more insight.
Well, it's funny because like you were saying about TikTok, TikTok has actually like helped us so much. Like, no, nothing's ever been bad with us, but like you learn certain tactics on TikTok for when you get kind of annoyed with each other. But those are rare moments. I'm like my partner Vince. He's my artist. He was my bandmate. He's like my best friend. We're also transitioning together. So that's like, it's some wild shit. Like he's I think 8 or 9 months in, and I'm 3 months in. And so it's like watching each other go through these like opposite things, like, but the same thing. It's the same thing, but it's on the opposite spectrums. We've reverted. We're so gay that we have reverted to a cis couple, but the other way. Um,
I love you.
but
I
like,
can love it.
but no, he's great, and we met. The funny thing is, we met because he sold me Green Day tickets in
I love it.
2012 or 2013. He sold me Green Day tickets to them at the Greek Theater. And I met him in line, and um, we didn't even hang out that day. I think he was still living somewhere else, but then he moved closer, and then we like became friends, and I was like managing the band that he was in for a little bit, and then he started working for me, working the door at clubs that I would book shows at, because I was a booker for like about 2 years. And through that we started getting like super close and like hanging out more, and yeah, and then everything just blossomed.
I love these stories. Do you see? And this is where I just recently wrote about because I hate Valentine's Day, but I was recently talking
Yeah,
about love. These are the love stories that Michelle Halloween fucking thrives on. I don't want
yeah,
to hear like my story. My love story is pretty cool. It's very non-traditional, but then I'm like, I see these beautiful love stories and I'm like, oh, can we start over? And in a sense, we've been together 16 years, and kind of in a
Oh
way we
wow.
do every so
Yeah.
often. We actually do start over. Um, let's see here.
Nice.
What do we have next? I have all these little notes here. Bloop, bloop,
Mm.
bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay, so we're totally. Oh, okay. I guess it's already time for trivia. Really?
All
I
right.
don't
All
want to do
right.
trivia. We have more time for that. I was going to give it at least 5 more minutes. Another cheers. Also, is the
Cheers.
GoFundMe link back up? Cheers. If anyone makes a donation tonight, if you let me know, we'll give you like a special shout out. I'll send you
Hey.
a shout out and maybe even make like a whole reel by the end of the week or something for you, Gray.
Nice. Yeah, that would be
Because
awesome.
I'm invested the whole month to
Yeah.
helping the
Yeah.
campaign. I am invested because I want to see it happen.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
as I was saying earlier, I was talking to the front man, Darius of Haunt Me, and we were discussing. It was funny because we go in talking about the band, but then of course, it's a Michelle Halloween show. So we got to talk about how lovely it is, how horror and the horror goth and all things fucking weird just meld into one pot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a message that I like to share with other queer weirdos in the Halloween and horror community, especially in California,
Yeah.
especially Southern California, is that we're all here and we're all fucking weird. And if being weird is something weird to you, and you look at us and you see Michelle Halloween with her gigantic pumpkin boobs, and you see Gray doing this Pretty
Just
Frankenstine
being.
band being, what did you say, gay as fuck? You
Yeah.
know, eh, fuck off. And if that's a problem, you're not really a weirdo. You're not
Yeah.
really a
Yeah.
horror person. In fact, I just want to show off and do a little shout out to Dark Light.
Oh, nice.
Just in case you guys all forgot. Okay.
That's
So
awesome.
that may or may not have been not intentionally, but it's actually because I believe in it, an advertisement for Dark Light clothing.
Yeah.
Put a link up.
Nice.
Put a link
Nice.
up. But also because it is a company that I believe in. So
Yeah.
the fact is actually Amy, the creator founder of Darklight, does not put up with any bullshit or hate or bigotry or any of that shit in the Southern California
Yeah.
horror community. So
Well, there's so much of that in just the like horror and goth community and everything too. And I that's kind of why I start like every once in a while I'll put up like TikToks about how like rock and roll and like goth music is the thing is it is literally black music because black people were the inventors of it. Like it's not even like it's black music because there's some black artists that do it. No, it's black music because your first without Screamin' Jay Hawkins and Cab Calloway, you don't have goth music. Like
that's right.
they're like literally the first musicians to ever be called goth and to put out spooky shit in an era of like the ink spots or like the like love ballads. These motherfuckers are talking about spells and ghosts and infirmaries and shit, like, you know what I mean? So like,
That's when
yeah.
horror and scary things and ghost stories were taboo as being black. And
Yeah.
everything is rooted in blackness. There's actually a really good if you do you like to read?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh fuck! My punk ass Brittany. If Brittany Bomber is watching, she has my book. I'll send you a link
Brittany
later,
Bomber.
and
Yeah.
I'll put it up. Actually, I want to say it's called Truly or Darkly. And forgive me, the author is actually beautiful. She's a black goth girl,
Oh
and
nice.
she's super dope. And she goes about how even like you were saying, the goth and music period is
Well,
black.
yeah. Yeah.
Like we
Well,
are the roots.
yeah.
So
Exactly.
much
Like,
indigenous
yeah.
and indigenous, especially in America, speaking
Yeah.
specifically in America.
And
Um,
it's not even like there's some like there's a few from back in the day that used to do it. It's like no, it's like literally all of the first like rock and rollers and the first goths and the first this and that were like black. So like, you know what I mean? It's literally black people that should be saying like, oh, that's not white music. You know what I
right.
mean?
Well, and it's funny that you say that because with the time that I love being alive, and when I was a young goth, I mean, I'm 40, I'm about to be 40 soon. I've been a goth since, again, age is nothing. I'm in the best moment of my life at this point, best phase of my
Yeah.
life. But I've been goth since I was 16 years old, and I was the only black. Don't let this pale light fool you. I am actually a black woman,
Yeah.
biracial.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
also live in the Pacific Northwest, and my melanin has been seeping out. I'm going to California soon to get it
Oh
back.
my God. Yeah. No, I totally feel you on that because I'm Filipino and Iranian, and before the pandemic, I would get pretty tan, and you could tell I was Filipino, and now it's just like every old Filipino lady that hears I'm Filipino, they're like, "No, you are not Filipino," and I'm just like, "No, I am Filipino. Like, I will make some fucking lumpia right now. Like like."
My husband is deceased. He is over here like, yes, like I wish he would participate sometimes. But
Yeah,
isn't that funny how like just getting a bit of vitamin D like brings out our real features? It's like,
yeah,
fuck you,
yeah,
son, we're goth. We don't want you, but we need you, motherfucker. Like,
yeah, yeah.
but it's right. The pandemic, I was like, it was obvious, but it's also I've been wearing wigs ever since too. But it's
Yeah.
like I'm looking at my skin and I'm like, okay, so my face looks great. Like my skin is radiant. I don't know what the fuck that's about. But my legs look like the end of bruises. Like, you know what the last phase of a bruise?
Yeah, yeah.
Yellow. But anyways, I forgot where I was going down that route. I was the only, so I used to go to like the goth club. I'd go to Bar Sinister and I'll get on to them. If you ever, when you
Oh
go on
man.
tour, I don't want you to
Yeah.
go. No, I don't want you to go. I don't want you to sing there unless you
Yeah.
absolutely have to. I will
Oh
still
no.
go support you.
Yeah. I've been, but it's been forever.
Yeah,
You know.
I was going in the early 2000s, like right when it opened. I was going because I was like, oh shit, there's a goth club. So then shut the fuck up.
That was
Like,
me with DNA Lounge. I would go to DNA Lounge like all the time
oh,
as a
that was.
teenager and shit.
But isn't it? Were you the only? Well, I don't know. What was your experience? I was the only black goth back in my 20s. And that was
Well,
like the 2000 early, 2000 to 2010. I was the
yeah.
only one up until, and then I found out that I did a couple of like, I put myself out there. The minute I put myself out there, and took all, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get all kinds of like shit for this. I
Yeah.
ended up connecting with hundreds of black goths and horror fans all over the
Nice.
world. And I'm like, what the world have you guys been? And they asked the same question. Where the fuck have you been?
Yeah. I
So
was
what was it like for you?
for me, it's funny because I was actually like raised by goths. My mom was super goth. My uncles were all goth, and like so that was like literally my whole life. And I think so I was born in 88. Pretty Hate Machine came out in 89,
Yep.
and my family was completely obsessed with that album and just Nine Inch in general. So the first things that I remember like hearing as a child were Nine Inch Nails, and I was always I grew up El Sobrani, Richmond, and Pinole in the Contra Costa County, and it's pretty shitty areas. And the thing is, like, nobody was a goth like there. I think there finally started to be some goths when I was like 14 or 15, sophomore year. And like most of them were girls. There was one other goth kid, uh, goth boy at the time, and everybody thought he and I were like best friends, but he was like Marilyn Manson goth, and I
Oh,
was like, by that age, I think by like 11 or 12, I was already like, this dude's a poser, because I grew up with Ministry, and I was like,
right.
oh, I see what you're doing. Like
Yeah.
I know who Alien Sex Fiend is. You're not fooling me. Like is yeah. So um yeah, I always made friends with all the goth girls in school,
I love
and
it.
and then became one.
Okay, I have a good question for you. Isn't it funny what happens?
Yeah, right.
I always wanted to be a goth girl. And behold,
Yeah.
there's all these things that I wanted to be. And I'm like, I love how it shows up at 41 years of age. Like, I always wanted to be a MILF.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
so funny, but it's like, I don't know. I just love, again, this ridiculous time that we live in. It's like I could die happy at any point, but that's really fun. Wait, I had a question. It was like super cool too. And fuck, this is what happens when you're
goths,
stoned
goth
on
girls.
40. Goth girls. Okay, let me go back to it. It was super, fuck my life. I guess it wasn't that cool, but
Calling
it was,
Marilyn Manson a poser.
oh,
I'm just
here,
I'm
thank
just
you.
throwing
No, you got it. You got it. You
keynotes.
sparked it. Okay, here's the thing. Let's talk of it since you know your gothdom.
Uh-huh.
Do you agree with, do you, sorry, I'm getting directions on the side of the screen. I'm going to get yelled at by text message,
Oh no.
by my producer. Tell me, what do you think of, I called it out instantly, and I'm going to get a lot of shit for this. This may be what gets me taken down off YouTube right now. I
What
think I think Slipknot is a
mhm.
poser band, especially Corey Taylor.
I think okay, so I had
I
the
said it.
briefest Slipknot phase because my friend who would play bass for me in high school was obsessed, and I was always like, this is like I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Um and I would always get, like, I think back then I would always get them and ICP mixed up because, like, kind of like the same shit
Right?
except one of them has a cake.
Like
And
Rasputin.
and then I kind of got into them for like a minute, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I get what they're doing here. But I could see the poseriness, but for the most part, I think that Corey Taylor just needs to go solo and be like the country artist that he wants to be. Like, if he would just do the southern rock shit that that he wants to do, instead
Right?
of making bands like Stone Sour, dude, just go solo, do your acoustic thing, and like don't feel shame about it because you're old and you have to be edgy and metal still. Like, you don't have to be, like, it's fine. Like,
This is the
yeah.
best day of my life. Cheers again.
Cheers.
Fuck
I,
yeah.
I I feel the same. I feel the same way about James Hetfield and Metallica,
Don't get me
and
started on them.
like I feel like if he just did hard Western rock, then then it's fine.
Right? Okay. So
Do
horn
Waylon Jennings
cover.
covers.
Just get it over with, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
What are the biggest tells that someone is posing as goth? Okay, so I don't feel qualified to answer that anymore because I did on World Goth Day, and which I didn't know was a thing until 2020 because I had a
Yeah.
lot of time to read. World Goth Day, and then I was like, that's what Bats Day in the Park was for. I get it now.
Yeah.
But like, what are the telling signs? If you ask me, who I guess I'm now considered an elder goth and also a
Yeah.
hippie goth. I don't want to say, but I just say my non-binary kid is a poser goth as well as like the pastel goth. Because like, what is that?
I'm a rainbow goth myself. Is the only things that I could find that put me in a category that I'm like,
I don't.
I can rock rainbow goth. I can do
I
that because I like colors too much.
same.
I
I
I
love colors.
I follow the Hunter S. Thompson theory. I don't trust anyone who doesn't wear enough colors, and it's but I'm also a goth, so I have a million black clothes. But like, I don't know. Like, I used to be very much like, oh yeah, like that person, is a poser because they don't know this or that. But like, if I come to somebody and I try to teach them something, and I'm like, hey, oh, that's like a cool Misfit shirt. Like, do you know any of their songs? And they're like, no, I don't. Then if I try to tell them some of their songs, and they're kind of like they don't care or don't want to know, then I'm like, okay, you are a poser. But if like I tell you and I'm like, hey, you should listen to this, and then they listen to it and they're genuinely into it, then it's like, there's like a weird thing. I might have to actually put
Okay,
in
you're
my
saying
phone.
okay. Go for
Hopefully
it.
my sound isn't complete shit. So hold
No,
on one.
I've done things where it's like, you're fine. And I'll just elaborate on that. I Nothing pisses me off more than me seeing a kid or a person like I'll just share a story while Grade's doing her thing. Um the creature I formerly call my sister went to H&M one time and bought her kids a bunch of like Ramones socks, and I'm like, do you know the Ramones?
Yeah.
Gray, I can't hear you too much, sweetheart.
Oh no.
But take your time.
Okay.
Do your thing. So I'm just storytelling because I love sharing stories. So she's like, well, I said, do you know any Ramon songs? No. And the thing was, it was $5 and it looked cool. So nothing pisses me off more. It's like a trigger for me. Like, what the fuck does that mean? And then I wrote a blog about this. And my kid, my non-binary kid, decides all of a sudden when we moved up to Washington, I knew it all along. This kid is a mini Michelle. Okay. They can deny it all they want. This kid is a mini Michelle. And this one was going in my closet, stealing all my clothes. And I'm like, you realize that I'm like 4 times your size. And they're like, no, nothing warmed my heart. They didn't care. They were like, I want to wear your clothes. And this bitch was stealing my dark light clothes, number one. Okay. Then stole my Bauhaus sweatshirt, my hoodie. I was pissed.
Oh no.
And I'm like, okay, so now you crossed the line. Okay. I let you borrow my fucking dark light stuff. I let you borrow you need to go and listen to fucking 3 Bauhaus songs.
Yeah.
And then they started wearing my Calabrese jacket instead. And I'm like, well.
That's so funny.
I was pissed. Then they tried to steal my Twin Tribes long sleeve. And I was like, you can fuck off.
Yeah. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is whenever it goes, since you can't hear me through the phone speaker, is I'll probably every time it goes into
that mode.
Every time it goes into that mode, I'll just see if you can tell a story.
Okay, no problem.
Right.
So here's
we got a system. We got a system.
But we'll start the trivia too because I've actually been really excited, and I feel like these questions might be too easy for you.
They might not. I mean, it's funny because I've been listening to more like Doja Cat and Lizzo than like actual goth music lately. So like, I might be rusty.
I love you so much. I try to I was listening to Haunt Me this morning on purpose, but the Haunt Me goes. I have this like ridiculous like my sleep playlist.
Yeah.
I call it Astral Dance Floor, Astral Club Dance Floor, and it's legit all kinds of like fucking bunch of post punk bands. My kids are like, "What the fuck how are you asleep? Listen to that shit in your ear." And I'm like, they're like, "Mom." And I'm like, sorry, it's comforting to me. So it's really funny, but I've been trying to I want to embrace this new like range of like femininity and hip hop, and Lizzo's fucking epic and Doja Cat.
Oh yeah.
And I'm actually trying to make my ass do what Mystic does.
Nice.
Goth Cakes not Goth Cakes anymore. Chucky's Queer Kid on Instagram. I'm trying to make my ass do what their ass does. So I've been a lot of Megan Thee Stallion for inspiration.
Nice.
Let's see what you got here because I'm like, these might be too easy for you. But I'll start with the easy one anyways. This is the only multiple choice. All right, we're starting trivia, y'all. Okay, thank you. Are you controlling it for me? Thank you. Okay, what brand? What band or artist did not come out of Bauhaus? Peter Murphy, The Cramps, Love and Rockets, Tones on Tail.
Nice. I don't think Ivy or Lux were ever in Bauhaus. So I'm going to say The Cramps.
You're right. The Cramps.
All right. That would have been awesome.
Right? And now I'm like thinking of a mashup. Okay, what song was the theme for the 80s horror movie The Hunger, which also starred David Bowie? This one's especially for you.
This is so I've covered like a bunch of Bowie songs live, and I even did like a whole Bowie tribute concert one time. And this is the song that like I haven't been able to get a band to play, but it's like my favorite fucking song. Cat People, aka Putting Out Fire. But I love that song so much.
Oh, but I don't think that's the answer.
It's not?
Did I get the wrong one?
Oh
There's no
wait,
way.
that's
I don't think this is the right one. Did we fuck up?
did I make this as a troll thing? Because that says Bella Lugosi's dead. But it said David Bowie. Oh, you know what? Okay, yeah.
Did I fuck
I
this?
I
I drink too much wine and I definitely smoked too much before the show.
no, I might have also gotten confused because I saw starred David Bowie. So I instantly thought of the David Bowie song that's in the movie and not the actual theme of the movie. Anyway.
Did I give you an SAT question? I'm gonna actually have Jose
No, you're
research
fine,
that one
you're
for
fine.
us. I was like, I was trying to make them hard because I feel like you're an expert. So we'll
No,
come
no,
back to
totally.
that one because now I'm questioning myself. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, what I know this one for sure. What Rolling Stones song? Because this is my favorite Sisters of Mercy song. What Rolling Stones song did the Sisters of Mercy cover on their "Some Girls Wanted by Mistake City"? Do you know how much that album is on vinyl?
No.
Too
I
much.
actually, you know what? This is where I'm a poser. I don't super know because I'm not as well versed into Sisters of Mercy as I should be. So you got
Actually,
me.
it's questionable. Does anyone in the comments want to give it before? It's actually it's really interesting. I'm not like the biggest Sisters of Mercy fan either, but this is and it's a cover song, and this is probably their best album.
Uh-huh.
Gimme Shelter.
Oh, really?
Yes,
I
and
need to fucking listen to that
it's
then because
way
that's
better
my
than.
favorite Stones song.
And I have to say, I like the Sisters of Mercy version better.
Nice.
They're both great, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But it's like kind of like Summer Dreams by Typo Negative is better than the original.
Yeah.
I mean, everything Peter still does is better. Okay,
Yeah.
moving on. I'm glad I stumped you. I'm happy.
You might stump me with a few, honestly, because I like I said, I'm super rusty and at this
I'm
point I don't know.
I'm glad. I'm glad because I wanted you to be stumped because else this would have been yes, Megan's knees are just built different. That's what my kid said.
Yeah.
And I also learned from my 12-year-old non-binary kid that WAP stands for waffles and pancakes in junior high.
Nice. Nice.
I know that's old, but I just found it out. So leave me alone. Okay. Okay, so this is definitely some elder goth shit. What is the name of Tina Root's new band since her departure from Switchblade Symphony? I had to look this one up myself.
I don't know. It's a
Okay.
trailer. Oh, okay.
And
all right.
she's pretty fucking good. I was impressed. I'm
Nice.
impressed. Okay, great. Now you're gonna have to do your TikTok thing when you're stumped.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
Okay. All right. Next one. What horror movie had no song in the actual film, but had a goth soundtrack? Oh, this is a good one. But had a goth soundtrack that sampled music from Bauhaus and Typo Negative. Anyone? See, that was a horror movie. And don't put up the answer until I say horror movie and a goth music type genre question. I'm proud of myself. Go ahead and think about
Yeah.
it. Research. Anyone? Everyone's like Googling.
I'm gonna say Star Wars. No, I'm kidding. No, I actually don't know. You're like you've got good questions here that I am like.
I picked the hardest trivia I could find
Yeah.
because I was high when I made them.
Nice.
Okay, the
Yeah.
answer is actually
Yeah.
interesting to me because I don't even like this movie, and it's another unpopular horror fan. I've been considered a horror movie poser, so don't feel bad. It's the Blair Witch Project. I don't even
Really?
like that movie. I don't even like that movie. That's why I never thought there was a soundtrack. Did anyone
Yeah.
know that?
I didn't. So wait, they sampled those bands for like the sounds that the witch made, or like
No. It's not even in the movie because it's like a found footage film. So there's like no sound but the
Oh.
original. But I guess there's a whole fucking soundtrack that exists, and this is why I love the horror genre so much. It
That's
makes
so
you learn
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, that's so weird.
So I didn't know that until I looked it up, and then I confirmed it because it was like so much fun to do on a Saturday. Was it raining on Saturday? It was probably sunny. Okay, so what's the next one? Why am I looking at my laptop? Okay. Oh, so dear to my heart. I'm a huge Clive Barker fan. And I'm really excited about what's about to happen as a hater of remakes. Okay, so
Ooh,
Clive
yeah.
Barker's The Hellhound Heart has been adapted into a new upcoming film remake featuring transgender actress Jamie Clayton. And this is easy, you guys. Everyone's
Clive.
heard about this. Clive Barker's The Hellbound Heart has been adapted more than once. This isn't the first
Mm,
time the Hellbound Heart has been adapted into a movie. Okay. This is
hmm
years and years and years later. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's now an upcoming remake of the name of the film, which is an adaptation of The Hellbound Heart featuring transgender actress Jamie Clayton. Lauren
So,
Culler knows about this one. I'm very excited for this one too. Like, I'm thrilled because this character actually is more in tune with who Clive Barker wrote the character for. That was your hint. This is
so,
think
oh,
of Clive
so,
Barker
okay,
and think of the first one.
so, so Megan the Stallion,
Yes.
aka Hellraiser. Okay, okay.
I was waiting for you to say Cardi B, actually.
Yeah.
Hellraiser. There's a new
Yes.
Hellraiser, you guys. I am
Oh,
pissed about the
if
Lost
you
Boys.
wanna, if you wanna riff on that for
Oh,
a
yes,
minute,
I
I have
will.
to take out the.
Go for it. I have a good story for you guys while we're waiting. And this is why I love my show so much, is because I'm adaptable as fuck. Okay. So
Yeah,
listen to this.
sorry.
Yes, Pinhead. No, you're fine. So I'm actually
If I,
gonna
if I,
divulge some tea. Okay.
oh, no.
I
If I
actually
yell,
wait,
can
what?
you like hear me if I'm like talking like this?
Very, very low. That means I have to shut the fuck up.
Oh no, 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 you're fine. You're fine. Okay. Okay.
No, you're good. I can actually hear you.
Okay. Okay.
So maybe I should. I'm not gonna say names or anything, but I interviewed Clive Barker when Books of Blood came out on Hulu. And it was the most awkward but best interview I've ever had because he came on and he refused. It was like a whole press junket thing. Like he was doing hundreds of like interviews. So I only had 10 minutes. Okay. But me being who I am, Black Villain, you're playing Call of Duty and not listening to me. You're not doing that next week when we're on. You're not playing Call of Duty. Ask me for my son's thing. He plays COD. Anyway, so Clive Barker and I had this really cool fucking conversation. He liked my personality. I didn't get to see his face, but I dressed up. I was flushed. I was so excited. I love seeing him. He told me all about splatter punks and how he invented it and all this other shit. And that interview never got aired. That's why I'm very selective of who I collab with these days because I'm pissed. It was a punishment.
So a little can am I audible?
To me, I don't know how. Can you guys hear Gray?
I'm
Keep
I'm
talking.
I'm,
Go ahead, babe.
I'm coming up a little close. You can see my pores, but that's fine.
You're
Um,
gorgeous.
I have. If you go on YouTube and you search Bruce Campbell prank calls somebody's mom, um, that is me, whose mom that Bruce Campbell is prank calling.
You need to
It,
stop.
yeah, so I've met Bruce 3 times. Um, yeah, I've met Bruce 3 times now. The first time was at a Fangoria Con in 2004, and I was having a panic attack because I was 16 and I had panic attacks, and I still do. But anyway, um, but I kept it cool around Bruce. But the second time we just took a picture. There was no real story there. But the second time was I went to see what was it called? My Name is Bruce, the movie where the town kids like kidnap him because they think he actually like fights demons. Um, and they did a post screening, a post Q&A where Bruce came out and did like his question and answers with the crowd, and then I pulled out my phone and I was like, "Hey, Bruce, I just thought my mom's on the way to the second showing because she's a huge fan too." And I was like, "Do you want to prank call her?" And he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And so he gives you can see it all on YouTube. He calls my mom. She's on her way to the second screening, and he's like, "Is this May?" May, my mom's name. And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Do you like your kid?" And she's like, yeah. And he's like, well, you're never going to see him again. And then he hangs up the phone. And then he gets another phone from another audience member, calls her back. And she picks up, she's like, hello? And he's like, did you think I was kidding about your kid? And then he hangs up again. And the audience is losing their shit. And it's like, it was so hilarious. And then the third time I met him was a book signing, and I brought it up. I was like, "Hey, dude, you remember you prank called my mom?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. Tell her I said hi." Like, so that was awesome.
Best day ever. Great. I've seen that video. That's
Oh
you.
really? Yeah, that's me. That's me. You could see. I think the back of my blazer had an NIN symbol.
I am deceased. Gray. I'm a big Bruce Campbell. I had my your Bruce Campbell story beats mine because I actually saw yours and never knew. Like I
Yeah.
I've seen this video. Oh my god. What is it about him that makes people I fangirl. I when I met him, I didn't get pictures because it was at Monster Palooza. He didn't allow pictures. But I stood at the door, I couldn't move. And he was like, "Get in here, lady. Come on, lady." And I'm like, we had the best conversation.
Yeah, yeah,
But I saw your video. I've seen that. That's a viral YouTube video amongst the horror
yeah,
community. Yes, I
yeah.
would love a refill. Thank you. Thank you. I my show is dope. I get like a whole fucking like bar service and everything.
That's awesome.
Holy fuck. We were meant to know each other and talk about this moment. We're gonna send
Yeah,
this to Bruce, guys.
yeah. Well, and it's funny too because the third time I met him was at a bookstore, and he was doing a signing in SF, and I got to ask him two questions. One was, does he still get abused by Sam Raimi when they work together? Um, and his response was, they're both old men now, so it's kind of just like it's not as forceful, but it still happens. Um, but then I asked him, I was like, how many iterations of the classic Oldsmobile have there been? And he answered, and he was like, "Oh, it's actually all the same engine in every movie that it's been in. It's been the same engine." And I shit you not, another person asked a question, and uh, he like this is two questions later, and he like interrupts them, and he goes, "Wait, wait, 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 wait. Let me go back and let me talk about that car a little bit more, cause you know what, that fucking car. Let me tell you about this fucking car." And he starts talking about on the set of Briscoe County, they had the classic, but it was in a horse carriage, propelling like something that they had to propel in the horse carriage. So like,
Wasn't this the same show where he went off on that lady for getting his name wrong?
yeah, yeah. That man's a treasure.
Yeah, he really is. I'm like, this is the best day ever, you guys. I have to cheers one more time. This is
Cheers.
like the best fucking you motherfuckers who didn't come on. You're missing like my facial expressions and well, I guess they could see it later, but fuck. We were meant to connect and talk about Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't put any Bruce Campbell like content in this trivia.
Oh no, no, you're fine. You're fine. I need to brush up on things anyway. I'm so like I think like I still love horror, and I've actually been back on like a little bit of a horror kick. But for a little while, I was just like I was very much in like it was a weird mix of like musicals and superhero movies.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing
Oh,
wrong with any of this.
and like Mean Girls like once a month, but
No, Mean Girls is essential. I don't know why. I love watching Mean Girls during the summer. And
yeah,
it's funny because I've been accused of not being a proper horror fan because of, like there's things. It took me 16 years to watch Freddy versus Jason. I regret that. I'm sorry, everyone. But then I have the unpopular opinions.
I
Like. But I also like right now. Why is it Don't Look Up? Why aren't disaster movies where the comet hits the earth considered a subgenre of horror? I'm gonna make this a thing.
I think those should be horror because they
They're
are,
horrifying.
well, yeah, and they're the closest to real. Like we're not, zombies. I feel like if zombies happened, the government would just push them to the ghettos, and it would just be like the crack pandemic, and it would be some Reagan shit. Um, so that wouldn't be as much of a threat as any of these like fucking BMZ or whatever's about to come out, and like, you know,
Right.
all of those, you know.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It's like I write about this often. Like we need to find new things to be afraid of. Of course, like slashers are always going to be good as long as it's a cis man, you know,
Yeah,
because they're the
one
scariest.
as long as it's
Like,
one cis man that doesn't know how to run, and you know, doesn't really know any martial arts training. He has a knife or an outdated chainsaw that somehow works after 60 years of not being oiled. You know, it'll be fun.
are you mad about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie? Because I loved it. I thought it was so fun. I
I
thought it was fun.
it was fun, but I was just like,
It was really bad. There was no
yeah,
storytelling.
I appreciated things that like I shouldn't have appreciated. I appreciated,
I know what you're talking about because I did too. I was like,
yeah. I was like, that's a nice little ode to Shining. Why is that in here?
you
I
saw that too. No one's talked about that moment where where he did the whole axe scene.
yeah, yeah,
Nobody talked about that.
yeah,
See, we were meant to be together.
yeah. No, but you know what's funny is I have love for Freddy versus Jason because the theater experience. I saw it in theaters as a teenager, and that experience was just like it was all of my friends. There was like 30 of us, and it was just like the classic like screaming or like don't do it, bitch, don't do it. Like it was good, you
I'm
know.
really mad at you. I'm not mad at you. I'm jealous. I
It
did
was it
the.
was
I
I feel
wish I
like
would have
that's
done that.
essential for that movie though. Like if you don't have that experience with that movie, it's gonna be shit.
Well, I have a really good theater system, so I was happy with what I got. But it was kind of like when I rejected going to see Alien versus Predator. I regret that. That's probably my biggest horror movie regret. My horror sci-fi movie is could have went and had that same experience that you had with all like 30 people, and my stupid ass was like, "Oh, hey." Okay, so I did confirm with Ivan, you're really hard to hear. So I'm going to story tell a little bit while you charge.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for letting us know. I appreciate all the transparency. So, storytelling time. Does anyone opposed to a Michelle story about Alien versus Predators?
No.
Okay. So, while you do your thing, I went. Okay. So, when did that movie come out? Like 2002 or something? And we'll continue trivia after this part. But I thought I was, and this is why I rejected Alien versus Predator, or not Alien versus Predator, which I rejected, but Jason. Oh no, she'll be back. I rejected Freddy versus Jason. I thought I was some horror, expert or some shit. And what an idiot. It was because I was mad at the Scream sequels. I blame it on the Scream sequels. Like I have so much regrets because Alien versus Predator is probably especially one of the most inclusive movies of its time that nobody people kind of forget about. Where it's not oh fuck, Sanaa Lathan is an actual fucking badass, a black heroine. She's a goddess, and she killed it with that film. Hi Gray. So
Uh,
I
uh,
actually, it was with my ex husband at the time who actually liked horror films, and there was like 30 people who went to go see Alien versus Predators. I stay home with my kids. Okay, and these are the kids of mine that are now adults who think everything I love is stupid. And it's funny because recently one of them, the 19-year-old, his girlfriend is on on my Instagram, and he called me. What did he call me about? And I'm still storytelling, so keep charging. What did he say? He was like, it was horror movie related, so I feel like it's relevant. But he was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to go back and watch your show to see what kind of shit you talk about me. And I'm like, oh fuck. And I got really upset because I was like, I've been waiting for this moment for like forever where my adult kids are gonna come on and see my show. Like, because most of my kids don't even follow me on Instagram because they're so like grossed out by me. So they're like, fuck you, mom, we're done with you. But this particular one still actually follows me. And his girlfriend brought his attention to like one of my shows where I was talking about my kids' shitty opinion about Halloween Kills, which I know Black Villain has an opinion on. But I love the film. And they were talking about how much shit it was. And he said he's going to come next time he's up here. He's going to come on my show while I'm doing one of these lives and rip my wig off. And here's me going, honestly, I wouldn't care, but why? Like, because you're dumb and I raised you to love horror films and you got it all wrong. I just told a whole improv story that had nothing to do with anything.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
We're gonna do trivia.
Yeah, here, let me.
Okay.
Sorry about this.
Hey.
So I had like. Oh no, I had like I had a setup and the an old school like headphone jack that would allow me to charge my phone and do the thing at the same time, but for some reason like today is when I lost the old headphones. So now I'm doing this like weird back and forth thing.
Honestly, this is why I love my show. It's flexible. But we will do the trivia. Because my urgency is I have to pee.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
All right. And I had to emphasize this one because this one was really important to me. I also wanted to do a little trivia, but this should be easy. What was the name of the black, I have to emphasize, the black drummer that a lot of goths didn't know about, who played from The Cure from 1983 to 1983?
Yeah. God damn it. I don't remember I actually don't remember any members of The Cure's name aside from Robert Smith.
I actually was going to call him Anthony Anderson, so don't feel bad. It's
Anthony, like the dude from Romeo Must Die, Anthony Anderson.
No, from Blackish and
Yeah.
Was he in that movie?
Same dude.
Know. Oh,
yeah,
same guy.
Yeah.
Oh, and he was on
Andy Anderson. Okay.
I almost called him Anthony Anderson because I'm like, he's like super popular, and I love him in Blackish.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. We're terrible.
I know.
And I love us. Okay, what 80s? Oh, this is easy. What 80s horror movie featured Bauhaus's song Stigmata Martyr?
I am a poser. What are we?
Maybe it's because, but here's what you're going to do. Is tonight or whenever you have time to watch, have an hour of your time to watch one of the best, worst horror films of the 80s. Because it is epic.
Oh, I've seen Night of the Demon. Okay, I just
not the naughty Elizabeth what's-her-face version, the Nadia version from American Pie, the original with blonde girl. She sticks the lipstick in her titty.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, my nipples hurt every time I think about that still, and I know it wasn't real.
Right. No, I've seen that. I just like it. It's definitely one of those like not like the usual playlist. It's not like the usual like Dead Alive, Evil Dead, Romero circulation of things, So
I'm starting to realize what genre you're really into, which is good because you actually have really good taste in horror films, but you're what Clive would call a splatterpunk.
Yeah. I mean, really also like a zombie horror.
Zombies are everything. But and see, here's me forgetting her name, the blonde. Who plays? She's in all because she's in what's the fucking Night of the Living Dead?
Yeah.
Night of the Living, not the George Romero one, but the one where it's like the punk dude. I had wine. I
the you mean Return of the Living Dead?
Return of the Living Dead. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because Michelle fails at horror. We're not posers. Okay, this one was funny because I was like, Einstein Kill is whack, but they're also kind of cool. And I had to put it because this is one of my favorite movies. What Einstein Kill songs is based on the 1981 classic and one of my all-time favorites. Goddamn it. American Werewolf in London. Does anyone like Ice Nine Kills?
I actually don't know because I'm not like super into Ice Nine Kills either.
I had to look this one up, and I was trying to make it super hard, and I achieved. So again, that's in my life. I didn't know this one either.
I am failing so hard at this.
But here's the thing: I don't offer prizes; I offer love and support.
Yeah.
What was this one? I forgot the answer. Love Bites. Okay.
Okay, nice.
And this next one was super hard too. And I was like hoping a particular Halloween fan would come onto this one. This one's hard. What punk band performed a lengthy club performance scene in the movie Alone in the Dark, which features a really weird performance by Donald Pleasance? He's actually not even rememberable in this film.
That's not the one. That's not the one where Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds do From Her to Eternity, is it?
No, unfortunately,
Okay.
I should have picked that one, and
Okay.
I actually struggled with I should have put that one because that was one of my options.
Well, that technical that's like not really a horror movie, but still, it's like
It is.
that's one of those like club scenes where a band's playing like a full set that like always stuck out to me. That like it's one of the reasons like I super got into them.
Well, same thing. I don't think that Einstein Kills is considered a goth band, but here we are.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? This
Yeah.
one was interesting, but it's also a pretty good band. I was interested in it because it's a punk band, the Sick Fucks.
Oh, okay, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
which is pretty rad. I had no clue.
I'm
And then
gonna charge my phone one more time because it just
okay,
told me
no problem.
10%, even though, but I'll still yell.
Oh, no problem. And this one is actually a very popular one, but I had to put it in there because I love. Are you a fan of Gary Oldman's performance in the Bram Stoker Dracula film?
I'm a fan of Gary Oldman's performance as anything. Like that,
Right?
he does no wrong.
I agree. So this one was actually super cool because I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of this particular band, and this particular deceased member died. But it was really cool to know that this dude came in and just did this one part. What famous singer dubbed or did the voiceover for Gary Oldman's scream at the beginning of Bram Stoker's Dracula?
I don't. This is like news to me.
Okay. This actually, the hint is it was, if you can remember, it was the band that didn't come out of Bauhaus, the lead singer.
Oh, really? Lux did the. Oh shit! I did not know that. That's awesome.
Right? And
Yeah.
it's like the super coolest thing. Yeah, you need to hear the scream. So it's like at the beginning when he's in that cool red suit, when after,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about, where he goes, "Whoa!" You guys, that's
Yeah.
fucking Lux Interior. My vagina just went,
That's awesome. I like. That's such cool. Like, that's a cool thing to know now too, because like, you could probably hear it in like quite a few of our songs. Like, especially if you listen to the older albums, like Lux is. We literally have songs where I'm just ripping off of the Cramps. Like,
nothing wrong with
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Then I have a band recommendation for you, and I'll give that to you. But we're gonna go so that way I can actually just have a conversation with Gray. I hope you guys don't mind me taking her from your thunder. But before we go, let me just put up that link one more time. The GoFundMe is going all month long, or until they reach their goal, which hopefully is sooner than later. And cool prizes are involved, like cassettes and like possibly private performances from Gray herself.
Alone time with Gray.
And here's me going, so what's that link? Like, give me 1 second to put that up. I cannot thank you enough for joining me tonight. Yeah. I am like so grateful that I am in this community where I can actually speak to people I admire and look up to, and who allow me to share why I love you so much. So make sure you guys go to prettyfrankenstein.com.
I'm gonna put in my headphones to wish everybody well. And yeah, thank you so much for having us or having me. And check out all the stuff. And yeah, thanks again, guys. Thanks everybody for watching too.
Pretty Frankenstein TikTok. I can assure you that Midsummer Scream is even looking at you, girlfriend. So we'll talk about that.
Ooh.
You guys are amazing, and our fucking followers and fans. I know Monday nights are sometimes hard, but I love the love when I go and actually am forced to look at insights and see all the support that you offer us. I appreciate it truly. So make sure that you are supporting the bands that I love so that I can see them play live in a city near you.
Yeah.
Let's always keep in mind to keep supporting each other, especially as weirdos and as people of color and as indigenous,
Yes.
especially as queer artists. We only have each other, and I feel like our circle is shrinking every year when people forget that we're still a thing and we're still here and we're still fighting for basic human rights while everyone else is like, yay, the world's opening back up. We're still here, guys. We're still here
Yeah,
and we're not going to be quiet.
exactly.
Gray, I love you. You
Oh,
guys,
you
I
too.
love
Thank
you.
you so much.
All right.
Thank you.